Today, we have an exciting journey ahead as we explore the incredible advancements in computer graphics over the past 5 years. So, fasten your seatbelts and join us on this exhilarating journey through the evolution of computer graphics. Introducing Nvidia Ace Avatar Cloud. We are excited to introduce to you the extraordinary Nvidia Ace Avatar Cloud engine. This revolutionary technology is explicitly designed to animate and give life to digital avatars. Its unique features and capabilities include speech recognition, text-to-speech functionality, and natural language comprehension. It functions as a sophisticated language model, utilizing your voice's power to animate the avatar's facial expressions. In addition, it uses both the sound and meaning of your words to add fluidity and realism to the avatar's movements. All of this is made possible by intensive training in artificial intelligence. Prepare to be amazed by the convergence of AI and avatar animation. AI-powered factories and the future of the computer industry. Its most remarkable characteristic is this technology's extensive use of ray tracing for rendering. In the modern era of the computer industry, only computer architects are no longer required for software development. These AI computers function as innovative factories, altering our perception of the computer industry. It makes perfect sense for the computer industry to have its factories, just as it relies on factories to manufacture automobiles. These computer factories are accountable for the physical construction of computer systems. Looking into the future, it is evident that every major corporation will have AI factories, where the primary focus will be on developing and producing the intelligence of these corporations. Revolutionary discoveries in deep learning and the ChatGPT breakthrough. Lex Krzyzewski, Suske, Elias Cover, and Jeff Hinton made groundbreaking discoveries in artificial intelligence and deep learning. They discovered the continuous scalability of deep learning networks, which led to the ChatGPT breakthrough. We are confident that many of you have already witnessed the effectiveness of ChatGPT. This breakthrough's significance cannot be overstated. We now have a software capability that enables us to discover the structure of virtually any data. If design is to be found, regardless of its complexity, we can train our AI systems to understand and comprehend it. This creates vast opportunities for learning and interpreting various categories of information. Impact of generative AI on information transformation. However, advancement did not end there. The emergence of generative AI was significant development. Once we have mastered the language of a specific type of information, we can instruct AI to generate new information using cues from another information source. This allows us to create text from text and text from images and transform data from one format to another. Possibilities are infinite. Imagine converting text into proteins, molecules, or images into 3D representations or videos. As a result of these groundbreaking advances in generative AI, the ability to translate and transform diverse forms of information has become a reality. From IBM's System 360 to AT&T's picture phone. In 1964, significant technological progress was made. IBM introduced the System 360, a groundbreaking development in computing. Around the same time, AT&T demonstrated its first picture phone, an innovative concept that involved encoding, compressing, and streaming images over copper telephone wires. The images were decoded and displayed on a small black and white screen on the receiving end. Interestingly, the whole experience of video calls has remained unchanged since then, albeit at much larger scales due to the increasing importance and prevalence of video communication. Transforming video communication. Today, video calls have become one of our most essential activities, with approximately 65% of internet traffic dedicated to video. However, the underlying approach to video communication has remained fundamentally the same for over 6 decades, compressing the video on the transmitting device, streaming it, and decompressing it on the receiving end. It is as if we treat communication as a mere data flow through a pipeline. But what if we apply generative AI to this process? Let's explore this possibility. The future of wireless and video communication lies in the realm of 3D generated by AI. Let's delve into the capabilities of Nvidia Maxine 3D running on the powerful Nvidia Grace Hopper superchip, and how it can enable 3D video conferencing on any device without requiring specialized software or hardware. Maxine 3D transforms communication into immersive experiences. By leveraging a standard 2D camera sensor commonly found in cell phones, laptops, and webcams, Maxine 3D taps into the processing power of Grace Hopper to convert these 2D videos into immersive 3D experiences using cloud services. This revolutionary approach adds a new dimension to video conferencing, providing enhanced depth and presence. With Maxine 3D visualization, you can dynamically adjust the camera perspective, capturing every angle and motion. This allows for more direct engagement, fostering enhanced eye contact and a greater sense of connection. Moreover, you can personalize your experience by utilizing animated avatars, easily stylized with simple text prompts. With the language capabilities of Maxine, your avatar can even communicate in languages you may not know. Nvidia Maxine 3D and the future of robotics animation. In collaboration with Grace Hopper, this transformative technology of Nvidia Maxine 3D brings immersive 3D video conferencing to anyone with a mobile device, revolutionizing how we connect and communicate. Now, let's shift our focus to the next phase of AI. Consider a simple example. In the future, you could instruct your robot to perform a task, and it would understand your words and generate the corresponding animation. Just as we can go from text to text, text to image, or text to music, why not go from text to animation? This innovation will profoundly impact the field of robotics, leveraging the technologies already within our grasp. Nvidia AI, reinforcement learning, and the future of robotics. However, a crucial consideration arises. How does the robot ensure that the generated motion aligns with the laws of physics and is grounded in reality? To address this, a software system that comprehends and operates within the principles of physics is required. We have already witnessed this grounding process with ChatGPT, where Nvidia AI utilizes Nvidia Omniverse and reinforcement learning to align its behavior with human guidance and feedback. By leveraging the powerful interaction between reinforcement learning and humans, ChatGPT was developed, and we can anticipate a similar transformation in robotics. Nvidia AI and Omniverse transforming operations. Now, let's transmit our attention to Taiwan, where we use Omniverse and AI for manufacturing. Manufacturing is one of the world's largest industries, and we intend to use Omniverse to teach AI and deploy it using our Metropolis AI deployment system. The $45 trillion global manufacturing industry consists of millions of continuously operating facilities. To meet the demand for high quality and cost-effective production, businesses strive to become software-defined. Electronics manufacturer Pegatron is an example of a company that benefits from Nvidia AI and Omniverse. They employ these technologies to digitalize and optimize their factory's operations. By creating a digital counterpart of their factory in Omniverse, they can obtain a real-time view of complex factory data, which assists planners and suppliers in optimizing layouts before implementing physical factory changes. And that completes our video for today. We hope you enjoyed learning the incredible details of Nvidia and Omniverse. Which of them are you most excited about? Tell us in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Tech Bros for more content such as this.